Alex, Gerard Michaels here. This is clearly persecution, and you mentioned lawfare. Why do you think the right doesn't take the precedent that has been set by these demons and now go after the people that have been wrong and spreading lies and spreading much more globally harmful mistruths than you've been found guilty of in civil court? Why are Rachel Maddow, Anthony Fauci, and MSNBC and the owners of CNN not being dragged through the civil courts using your case as precedent?
Well, I mean, let's be clear. Just for the sake of argument, let's say I'm liable for this. I want to explain again. I've done plenty of stuff on the air over the years that was wrong. I've been on air 30 years. I never did it on purpose. I never told lies on purpose. And I've had a really great accuracy rate. That's why they say Alex Jones was right. Mm-hmm. They created, for 2 years before they sued me, huge PR firm, remember thousands of articles, hundreds of TV shows saying I was attacking people and dead kids for the Violence Policy Center, to now who raised money off of me. They attached themselves to me because I was very famous and all over the news to raise money. Then they sued me after they were done doing that for 2 years, reportedly raised over $100 million. So, but separate from that, yes, you have mainstream media lying to people and saying if you take a shot, taking Pfizer money for it, you cannot spread COVID and you cannot get COVID. Rachel Maddow was getting $89,000 every time she plugged it as part of her deal with Pfizer for over a year straight. So she got millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars, look it up, for lying on purpose, not making a mistake. And the reason this precedents don't matter is Democrats don't sue their own people. And they most courts are not completely corrupt. They're just kind of naive like the public. They sue you in New York City, Washington, D.C., Austin, Texas, and a couple key jurisdictions in Connecticut and a few others. So they pick the judge in Austin, who's a total communist and Soros funded.
Sure.
She's elected. They picked another globalist judge in Connecticut. And so just like with Trump, it was all in key jurisdictions. I mean, with Fannie Willis and with Letitia James in New York and Georgia,
those are
they
ridiculous.
Ran on putting Trump in prison and said, we don't know what we're going to get him on, but we'll make something up, basically. So you need to understand, they are venue shopping. They've already I'm going to explain something. I was found in default by the judges. They did it like in the same month, a full 8-9 months before I went to trial. I went to trial 2 years ago in October and November of 2022.
Okay.
So look this up. People don't know this because there were only a few articles at the first, and then they had the show trial. Look up, judges find Alex Jones in default. But the Supreme Court says you can't do that. So that's what they did. You can't do that in this type of case. Default is when you get sued or whatever, and then you run to Brazil, and then you're just not there. Mm. Then they still have to do the trial on damages, and at least show some damage. They had a trial on damages and would not let us put on evidence. Everybody wondered why my lawyers weren't allowed to talk, and it was because of that. We had to go show it was a fraudulent trial and go through it for the appeals. You understand?
So is it just the will is just not there to pursue this against the Maddows of the world? Is there just no will to hold the people accountable that are engaging in this lawfare?
I think they have the media power.
Look, Republicans on average are so straight-laced they can't even admit to themselves this is going on. I mean, we knew the NSA and CIA and everybody was involved in election meddling 2016, 2018, 2020. We knew there was election fraud everywhere. It was only when people got unnaive and Trump put lawyers everywhere that we stopped a lot of it this year, so he won in a landslide. So what needs to happen is Soros has put in over 20 of the attorney generals in the states. He's got over 2,000 DAs. He's in states that elect judges. He's got most of the judges. And so he needs to be prosecuted. Imagine if the mafia spent tens of millions of dollars over 20 years to buy up the judiciary. Okay? Now, they don't have all the judiciary, but they attack you where they control the courts. You understand? So, yes, we need to cut the head off politically. We need to have a new Justice Department or Trump go in, and it started to happen already, where these corrupt DAs and people get removed.
So let's say with $1 billion that had to be settled and these families that were kind of brought in for that. And I don't know if there's a way to actually state this to where it makes sense. I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but if they're not the ones getting money or actually getting settlements, and this is going to this larger thing, isn't this just a far worse version? I mean, it's just deliberately using people for their own advantage, other than just miscalling something that happened.
Yeah, well, here's a microcosm. Okay, Adam Lanza killed the kids at Sandy Hook.
Yes.
His mother, legally at Walmart, bought a Remington semi-automatic 5.56 rifle, Bushmaster, and her son took it from her and killed her, and then went and killed a bunch of people. Okay, Remington went out of business and had to be sold with a $76 million judgment against them, as if it was their fault that a woman bought a gun, a 50-something-year-old woman, and her kids stole it. So that's how rigged these jurisdictions are, and they had me in the same jurisdiction there. So that's the story. I'm back in InfoWars. The Onion didn't buy it. It's all a hoax.
Okay.
My lawyers are 99% sure this is all going to be reversed. And the fight goes on. So this is just the dying gas of the deep state. People can find me at Infowars.com. They threw us out of the building Thursday, cut the internet off, and then they freaked out and realized it was illegal. Friday, they didn't give me my studio back. They just basically ran out of there. And it just shows how wild-eyed and crazy they are.